I think that this honestly is a really great example of what Mad Acre Farms is all about. I have to be careful because it's like, you know, when you see an animal in the wild, you don't want to, you know, take it out of its element. So I'm going to sneak up on this fine example of a creature and show you guys what he's doing. He's been working really hard at this, you guys. So this actually right here, what I'm about to show you, is the start of a low tunnel because it is early May and we aren't going to hit our last frost probably for about another 2 or 3 more weeks. I'd say 3 based upon the weather that we've been having. So it is so early, and I know we both have to work today, our daytime jobs. So let me share this with you. How cool is this, you guys? Seriously, if that's not inspiration, I don't know what is. I'm gonna leave him be. He's been up every single night trying to figure out, you know, what the weather's gonna be the next day and if we can get and jump on it, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But this really is the inspiration behind Mad Acre Farms, is that man right behind me. And I couldn't be more proud of him. Let me show you what we're going to be putting in there. And honestly, you guys, I've been kind of tasked with that assignment, and I've struggled a little bit. I'm a little nervous because, as you can see, he is extremely bound and determined to make this happen. All right, so I ran out of time this morning. I'm on my lunch break. I come out here. Ryan and I work at two separate offices, so we really don't know what each other's doing. We try to stay out each other's hair during the day because after work, you know, we got to be partners in crime. So I come outside and to finish up showing you what I got going on in the greenhouse because I ran out of time this morning, and I see this. Do you guys see that? Right there, that guy right there. He's at it again, folks. I need to step up my A game, folks. I do, and I need your help because I'm new to this gardening thing and I'm struggling a bit. So help me. Let me show you what I got. I need some advice. Okay, here we are in the greenhouse. I want to show you guys the start that I did in March. I struggled a little bit in the beginning because they germinated pretty quickly in our little indoor greenhouse. We have lights and everything. But I think what happened is that I brought them outside to this greenhouse too early because when I brought them out, we were reaching, you know, pretty cold temperatures still at night. So I think that might be a culprit for some of the plants that I'm about to show you. But I could really use your help on, you know, what do I do? What could I have done differently? And hopefully maybe help people that aren't as familiar with gardening, because if you know and you've been following us, kind of new to gardening. So let me first show you the plant that honestly is at a point where they want to speak to my manager. So without further ado, here is my worst performing plant as of right now in this greenhouse. This guy right here is my Armenian cucumber, and it is at a point where I have tried everything and it's requesting to speak to my manager. So, but this one is also an Armenian cucumber and it looks like it's doing a lot better. So I did kind of pinch a few blooms off of this guy. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I did. But my cucumbers are not doing very well. I just think it was probably too cold. I'm hoping maybe this will bounce back, maybe it won't. I have no idea. So the cucumbers are probably the ones that I struggled with the most, and I think it's because I started them too soon. I'm thinking, okay? I have a host of bell pepper plants. So I have Cali Wonder, and then I have another variety in there, but they are all bell pepper plants. Of course, I have some tomato plants. To be honest with you guys, I have quite a few. I did quite a few tomatoes. I have a variety of cherry tomatoes. I have Amish paste as well. I have, this guy isn't looking too hot, but I have some other Amish paste that are doing pretty well. I have beefsteak. I have gooseberry, which actually did the best. So my gooseberry tomatoes have done very well. A lot of my plants, this guy right here is a yellow pear, but like I have a lot of the leaves that look like that. I don't know why. So if anybody knows why my tomato leaves are looking like that, let me know. Let me know if there's anything that I could do differently to them to help them out. Here's another one that kind of looks that way. So again, my tomato plants, they've actually are starting to look a lot better. So I think it's probably because of the increase in temperature. This greenhouse is not heated, but I do run a heater in it. It helps a little bit, but not very much. So I actually started Bok Choy. I got these seeds from Stacy over at Hands in the Dirt. I had one on one of their chats. It was with Micro Farmer, the OCD is Chick, and then of course Hands in the Dirt, and Hands in the Dirt sent us some Bok Choy. I want to show you guys something that I've been doing. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work or not, and I'm curious of your input. I planted Bok Choy in smaller pots, and then I up potted them into these containers. These are the containers from the $1.25 store. So my thought is at the farmer's market, I would just sell these as individual containers, right? So it's a three pot. It's actually pretty cool how this whole system is set up. I just don't know if the Bok Choy is too big for it. With my luck, it's probably too big for it. But this has really just taken off. And so I was thinking as it gets bigger, I might just separate the pot. Curious on your guys' thoughts. Is this something that you're like, hey Jamie, you're gonna wanna change those pots up? I'm open for anything, but I'm curious if you saw something like this at your farmer's market, would you stop and take a look at it, or would you keep going? Here's a bigger pot of Bok Choy. I think it's doing well. And again, this is my first time, so I think it's doing well. Maybe it's not. So tell me, because again, it's my first time. Next, folks, we planted arugula, we planted kale, and I did lettuce. I did up pot some of the lettuce. I know these plants right here are going to be going in our low tunnels here soon. Hopefully this week after Ryan is done with those. That's why I really got to step up my game and make sure that we're good. And so these can get put out into the low tunnel that he's building. More to come on that. Next, you guys, I actually did some peppers. I had peppers from last year that Ryan bought that were dead. And I actually just took the seeds and sprinkled them in. And they actually started to grow. So this is a ornamental type variety pepper. So we'll see how that grows. Another really cool pepper that I planted was the Chinese 5 pepper, and it's actually a very beautiful plant. These grow a variety of different color peppers, so I'm interested to see how those look once we reach maturity. So pretty cool there. My spinach actually is looking pretty pitiful in my starts, so I'm not doing something right with the spinach. I don't know what. I could really use some advice on my spinach because I need to do better, because this right here is, I know Ryan's counting on this, and I need to do something. So any advice, I'll take it. I started a second succession indoors, hoping that I might be able to do better. So we'll see, but this is current state. I could really use some advice, folks. And then of course, here's some additional peppers. So, I mean, granted, all in all, you guys, it's not the best, but it's progress. So I'm a brand new gardener, and I'm out here every day kind of just checking on these things and doing the best that I can. I'm trying not to overdo it. I honestly could sit here all day and just watch them grow. Sounds crazy, right? But it's the coolest thing ever. But there is absolutely one plant that I am in awe of, and I'm really excited because I'm hoping I could do something with it this year. So let me show you the one plant that I am really, really excited for. And who knows, maybe I'll get growth, and maybe it'll fruit, and maybe I can bring it to the farmer's market. It's not on our crop plan, but let me show you. Does anybody know what this is? closer look. If you guessed passion fruit, you're right. It's passion fruit. I actually got seeds from Cherie and Bobby over at Black's Tropical, and I was so stoked when I saw them because I told Ryan, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grow them. And he's like, Jamie, I don't know if we can do it in our climate. And he's like, we're probably gonna have to keep it all indoors. But I grew them indoors, and I did not put them under grow lights. I actually just grew them in a dome. They were relatively easy to grow, and I overplanted. I think I have 10 of these. So they're doing really well. And I put some in hanging baskets, and I've also put some with cages. So I'm going to keep them in this greenhouse until it gets really warm, because they like the warm weather, of course, and humidity, I think. They can take over once it gets warm. I'm gonna try to trellis them, but we will see, you guys. We will see. We have a lot going on here at Mad Acre Farms. A lot. And this year we are going to try to be a little bit more organized. Last year we went through a lot of waste. And this year we're really going to buckle down and learn new ways to preserve our food. We didn't know anything about preserving our food last year. We could have definitely preserved food last year, and shamefully we threw quite a bit of it away, what we couldn't donate. This brings me to my next point. We are joining a $50 February food challenge with the Old Sweet Farm, Rich and Holly, and with Annette over at the Cow Emporium. And the idea behind it is, for the entire month of February, you basically have $50 budget to buy just the bare necessities that you need for the month. Everything else is basically what you've grown. And honestly, you guys, we were planning on learning how to preserve our food this summer so we can make sure that we have our food to carry through the winter. Just more so the self-sustainability goal that we're going for, and being able to provide for ourselves and our community. So we're new gardeners. We're gonna do it. And if anybody else is up for the challenge, I definitely would recommend you give it a shot. Learn how to preserve your food. Learn how to can. If you're growing it, you might as well save it. Don't throw it away. So we are looking forward to that food challenge this year. And you know, we'll of course post our updates as well. And you guys will see kind of how far we've come and how much more we have to go. All right, folks. I'm looking forward to your input on my greenhouse garden here, because I will take any advice that I could possibly get. Making mistakes here, but we're learning from them. All right, well, that's all I got for lunch, and I gotta go help Ryan. I'm gonna put a couple buckets on that on those rows so I can take credit for the work. Spoken like a true partner in crime. That's right, Rhino. I will be there to help you, buddy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell a million friends or two. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.